Welcome to the knitting portion of my podcast. I have a few things to show you. The first thing I want to show you is this top that I made. It's a Barocco pattern. It is called Carden. And let me stand up so I can show you. So it's a split hem. And I think the way that the pattern goes, it's been a couple years, is that you knit like the top, front, and back separately, and then you start knitting in the round under the arm, and then put the seam the shoulders together, and then do that split hem. So I'd kind of forgotten I had this. I want to say I finished it at least 2 years ago. It wasn't in my Ravelry project page, so I had to kind of go back and look it up, but I do remember knitting it when I was visiting my mom in January in South Texas. It's been at least 2 years, maybe even 3. So that is just kind of from the archives. The yarn is a Barocco yarn. I don't remember what the blend is, but it's got this kind of, there's definitely different fibers in it. This is mostly stockinette stitch with, I think, some kind of I-cord type. It's not exactly I-cord, but I don't remember enough about the details. I did link the pattern in the pattern page in the description box. If you hit the down arrow, you will see that. I mentioned in kind of my amble out to the barn that I do have a couple whips. One of them I'm not going to show you because I'm almost done with it, and I just want to share it with you as a finished object. Hopefully I'll be wearing it next Friday when I record. So I can show you a finished object. So these are, and I think you've seen at least one finished socks. So these are the heel-toe do-si-do made out of Freckled Whimsy self-striping yarn. You can see that they don't match, which is totally fine with me. I did the main color, the first 10 rows of the cuff, and then this contrast color, the second 10 rows. I just thought it made an interesting look. It's a twisted rib, 1x1 rib, which really stands out. The knit rows really stand out. And then it is stockinette in the back with this nifty lace pattern in the front. And then the heel flap and gusset, or heel flap and heel turn, are in the contrast color, as are the toes. So it's obviously summer here. I'm not wearing socks very much, except when I go downstairs in the basement to work. I've turned the heat off down there to maintain the coolness, because it's a nice refuge from being when it's really hot. And if we need to sleep down there, we haven't yet. There was probably 1 or 2 nights we probably should have slept down there. At least I should have. But it's just easier, more comfortable to sleep in our own bed rather than on a big inflatable air mattress or our camping mattresses. I use Chowgu red lace, size 0, which is 2 millimeter, and I knit the smallest size in socks, so cast on 56 stitches because my gauge is kind of loose. My gauge changed when I started knitting left-handed, which I find better for my hands. And speaking of hands, I'm stretching them. I find the knitting left-handed a little bit more ergonomically correct for me, and so I switched hands for knitting, and my gauge is looser. So my whip, which I think I showed last time, I'm knitting these socks simultaneously. These are K. Jones, and I don't want to pull this out. this needle somewhere so you can see the pattern. K. Jones, these are the prairie socks. So I am knitting them 2 at a time. And you can see it's a pretty nifty pattern, and I am using a Polka Dot Creek Blanket Club yarn. So the ribbing is, I've just done each section 6 stripes each, and then when I got to the leg with the pattern, I am doing 12 rounds, 12 rows for each color. So here is this one with 36 rounds, and I'll probably go to 48. I like my socks to just come up below my calf before I start the heel turn. That's just the most comfortable place for me. So these are really fun to knit. I really enjoy this pattern. It's very easy to memorize, as was the heel toe do-si-do once I got the hang of it. And a new cast on, which you haven't seen yet, is another K. Jones pattern, and these are the Winterfest socks. So and again, size 0, Chagu red lace. These are the bamboo needles, which are, I found, slightly smaller than the steel ones. So I'm only doing 1 sock at a time. The cuff is 15 rows of, it looks like 1 by 1 rib, is a Knit Picks, probably Stroll in Dove Gray. And then the pattern, which I'm not convinced I like it yet in this particular yarn. This is a variegated yarn. I want to say this might be a hand-painted yarn that was part of a kind of a legacy. So in other words, someone was destashing and I got this. So this is what it looks like in the ball. Probably not the greatest for this pattern, but you know, they're socks. So yeah, Knit Pick Stroll and Dove Heather is the colorway for the contrast, or at least the heels, not the heels, the cuff and the toes. I may use this for the heel, flap and gusset. This is a kind of a heavier fingering weight yarn, and it is I think this is a 50-gram ball, and this is Tuku wool, so it's 80% finished wool and 20% polyamide. And I got this at Utopia Fiber Shop in Verwoqua, Wisconsin, a couple of years ago, just for contrast color heels and toes, stuff like that. So I think I'm going to use that in the heels. So those are my whips, besides the one that I'm keeping from you. I think I've shown this bag before. My mom made this one. So garlic print fabric, just a very simple drawstring bag. And this bag is also one my mom made, a much more complex bag. It's quilted with a zipper and it has a pocket inside. So dragonfly pattern with polka dot lining. So great bags. I really like both of these. I use this one all the time. I complained once about getting the yarn caught in the zipper, so she started making me drawstring bags. And so I don't have that problem. And they're very cat proof, because I just tie it in a little knot and Herbert can't get his murdering teeth and claws in there. I also have a couple frogs that are coming up, and what did I do with those? So one frog, and I've actually cut open, I just haven't bothered to frog it yet. So these are the mica socks. I made these from the 52 weeks of socks. And I used, I want to say a Knit Picks gloss or something like that, which was not superwash. So when I threw it in the washing machine, it shrank. And it's really hard to get over my my heel. So it's like, okay, heck with it. I am going to rip it out, throw out the part that has kind of felted, and then re-knit these into something else. So those are on my frog list. And my other frog list, sadly, are my long socks that I made from a Polka Dot Creek Advent, self-striping yarn, 24 stripes. So unfortunately, I made one sock longer than the other, and that's what happens when you don't keep track of the stripes. And when I started these are top cuff down. I did my normal like 56 stitches. Well, it's not quite big enough to get over my calf, and that's uncomfortable. So I could certainly wear these and just have them below my calf, but then I have all this sock bunched up. So that didn't make a lot of sense. So I'm gonna rip these out and knit something else. So I don't really mind doing that. It's just to me, it's a good use of yarn, and there's always more socks to knit. So that's it for the knitting portion of this podcast. I am putting together a lot of other footage from my GoPro, and I'm waiting for it to download. So I'm still learning the editing software, which is Movavi or something like that. Paid for a subscription. I haven't been super happy with it, but I'm starting to figure it out. And I am also figuring out the GoPro. So I have some footage, just some gardening footage. Some of this is just test footage. I'm kind of having fun with it. And I have some commentary about working with Braggy in the horse trailer about that, because I was a little concerned. He was worried about the camera. But you'll see in the segment about when I'm putting on his fly mask and I have the camera mounted on my bicycle helmet, which I'm wearing, he's not bothered at all. So my trainer came out today, and I'll talk about the rest of the footage here in a minute. My trainer came out today and helped me with Braggy. So I met you. If you saw my last video of that training footage, he was very distracted. He kept looking out to the side and kept, just looking around, not really paying attention. And I felt like when I practiced with him a couple times this week, I felt like we were still kind of stuck in that position. So I said to him, because he's really distracted and he wants to get out of the trailer. He doesn't want to eat his nice, tasty snack bowl that I've made for him. So I said, okay, fine, you can get out, but we're going to do a working backup. So it's not like you're just going to get out and hang out or graze or anything. We're going to do some work out there, and it's not punishment. It's just I'm trying to make being inside the trailer a better deal. It's a place of calm. It's a place where there's snacks. So I messaged my trainer yesterday about it, kind of told her what I was up to. And I said, well, we can work with Odin. That's the advantage of having two horses. But she messaged back and she said, I'd like to see how it's going with Braggy and see what you have in mind for how you're changing things. So we did that today. And right off the bat, before we even left the barn, she noticed that he was already starting to be distracted. So she spent probably 5 minutes just getting him to center and focus on her. And that made all the difference, even the walk up to the trailer, just getting that kind of correction, like when he wants to look away, it's like, no, you're here with me. When we're together, you're here with me. So we worked on that, and he got in the trailer a number of times. When he did get out, she gave him a working backup. It's like, okay, you're going to back up, back. Good boy, so that he was focused and, not scared. I mean, she wasn't trying to scare him or anything, because when they're scared, they don't learn either. But it was just like, you need to focus on me, and we're gonna make this a little bit hard, you know, just a little bit challenging. So it worked really well, and he was willing to get in the trailer. He asked to back out a couple times, and you know, just kind of tap him on the hindquarters. Nope, can you stay and eat your snacks? And he did. And if he went back to eating his snacks, then I asked him to back out of the trailer, and then we got a nice rest. So that worked out really well. I'm looking forward to working with him more on that in the next week. And I don't know if we're gonna work with Odin next week. Haven't really thought that far ahead. So that's the footage I have about knitting, about horses. I have some gardening footage that you'll see, and also I did a couple bike rides. So I haven't. I'll edit those, and as always, let me know what you think. I really appreciate it. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Hi everyone, I am doing some test footage, watering some potatoes. I don't know if you can see my shadow, but I am wearing my GoPro on my bike helmet. So yes, I am walking around the garden, watering, walking around the yard on this beautiful summer morning. It is Saturday, July 6th. Always a day to remember the South Canyon fire from 1994 in Colorado. I was a new firefighter then. Had started, just trained up. No, that's not true. I was a new firefighter in 1993. And then 94, I was my second season. And there was a terrible tragedy in Colorado on the Storm King Mountain, where a number of firefighters and 9 from the local to where I was at the time in Southeast Oregon perished in that fire. So it is a day I often remember. The following year, 1995, I was on a National Park Service hotshot crew, and we actually, in Colorado, and we actually went to the memorial. It was something else. Just very, very sobering, of course. A lot of things changed about the way some things were conducted safety-wise. So yeah, but it is a day, even though it is, oh gosh, it's 30 years. Those people would have been in their 50s by now, so very sobering. I'm going to continue to water the garden and hopefully get to use this footage. I have a new SD card, so I'm hoping I don't have some of the problems that I have had. So I am controlling this video via my phone. So there's the other part of my container garden. I've planted some carrots, and we'll probably transplant those beans once my fava beans are done. And who knows, maybe I'll take you along for that. Hi everyone. If you've been here before, you will recognize this walk out to the barn. I'm wearing my GoPro camera on my bicycle helmet. I will try not to swing around and look at too many things, but I do. Here, let me show you the blueberries. This is one patch of blueberries that we have. Walking down to the creek, which is significantly lower than you have seen it. Still not seeing any fish in the pond. So, and the ferns are tall, so it'd be hard to see, but that's the pond down there. I suppose now that I'm gonna do this kind of live footage on the GoPro, I'm gonna need one of those fuzzy microphones that you see people have pinned to their shirt. So, I don't know. This advancing from recording. Oops. I forgot about. Oh, here. Let me see if you can see my shadow. See, there I am. You know, it can be a real rabbit hole. Doing YouTube videos, especially if you kind of want to make them nice and maybe more interesting. I mean, I love some of the professional quality, and they're professionals. Some people who do that. I mean, a great example is Fruity Knitting. They probably spend more than 40 hours a week doing this. So there's Odin, the Mustang. I haven't turned him out to pasture yet. So this morning I just fed them their breakfast, and I haven't picked the yard or anything like that. I was kind of wondering if I'd have the ambition to take Odin out on a trail ride, but it's hot, and by that I mean it is might be going to be 85 today, which I know that doesn't sound hot to hi Braggy, many of you who are used to much warmer temperatures. And if I didn't say it before, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, in fact Northwest Washington, so the Puget Sound and Pacific Ocean really keep things a lot cooler around here. So when it gets to be above 70, people start complaining. So I'm just curious. I want to try the camera with putting on fly masks and doing that sort of thing and see how Braggy feels about it, because I'm not sure if I've shown this footage yet, but I had the camera in the horse trailer the other day. In fact, I'm still working on that footage. And Braggy was really kind of strange, jumpier than usual about getting in the trailer. And I'm wondering if it's because the camera was set up and it makes little noises and is flashing lights. He doesn't know what that is, and it just sounds a little strange to him. And I've never had it in the trailer before. So I'm going to try this. So bear with me as I take a walk through the barn and kind of show you my routine. Been out watering the garden and doing some weeding, and it's just, I mean, I could see what the temperature is. It is currently about 73 degrees with a high of 81 today. So yes, I'm doing a lot of whining, but I am going to, well, like I said, that's just a lot warmer than we're used to. And it's around 11 a.m. July 6th, which I kind of talked about the significance of July 6th in an earlier segment. So hopefully this works. It's going into the feed room. I'm going to unplug the fence, grab some cookies for the boys, because everything, as Julie Andrews says, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. So we'll try this. Dropping cookies on the floor. I actually have my sunglasses on, so it's a little bit harder to see. Okay. So O is for, or orange is for Odin. He gets one kind of fly spray. Braggy gets another kind because he's allergic to the kind that O can have. And O can't have Braggy's kind because it turns him yellow. So they have been good boys and have eaten one bag of hay. So let me see. All right, boys, who wants to get dressed? Okay, Braggy has a lot of welts on his side, which is probably why he's been so itchy. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Oh, I know. I know. Should we try to put some fly spray on and maybe keep the sensitivity down? You're a good boy. Yeah, you are a very good boy. Okay. How about this? You want to wear this? Good job. Thank you. Fly mask to keep the flies from out of their eyes. And then he gets a cookie for that. And see, he has very polite cookie manners. Yeah. Except when I start feeding Odin cookies, and he thinks he should have Odin's cookies too. Hi, buddy. What do you think about fly spray? I know you're not as fond of fly spray, but thank you. What a good boy you are. Oh, I know. He's tickly. I understand. Good job. Yeah. And you get a cookie after you put your sunglasses on. Yeah. There you go. You gonna put your nose in here? Hi, Braggy. Okay. So I'm just waiting for him to tell me it's okay, and he just sort of gave me permission to do this. And as you can see, I have to stick my finger in his ears. It's not the best fly mask, but it's the one that Braggy hasn't chewed off of Odin's face. So that's why he gets to keep wearing this one, and it does the job that it's supposed to do. Okay, did I get your ears in there evenly? Okay, yes. Very polite with the cookies, thank you. Yeah, good job. Okay, boys, you ready? Okay, stop right there. It's close enough. Okay, there you go. Go have fun. Braggy's gonna follow me instead of... There you go. That's the right direction. Yeah, there you go. All right, boys. Should go out there just to make sure the fence is up, because the other day I found him in the pasture I haven't opened up yet. So I just, because they can gain weight pretty easily, I just really try to limit the amount of fresh grass they get, otherwise they just get too fat. And then there's I mean, the weight's one thing, but the metabolic issues that come with it that become much more difficult to manage, quite another. But it looks like the fence is up, so I could let them have a little bit more. I'm just taking you along because I'm wearing my bike helmet with my GoPro on it, because when I start picking the yard and refilling hay bags, I'm going to take the silly helmet off. So, as you can see, I mean, it's not a big space over here. I just want to, like I said, protect their health. So I will open this up. Randy did some weed eating here yesterday, which was awesome. Sometimes it's not easy to do this fence work with the boys around, because they will take an opportunity to push through it. You can see that Braggy is closely monitoring my work here. These stepping poles are pretty handy, although I do have a lot of rocks. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's good enough for you guys. Good enough. Have fun out here, boys. Like, oh, it has a few welts too. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the camera.